shot of that, and it looks like Jasko's going to take fastest lap for quali. Well done, my friend. And Andy putting in some real fast pace there. It's good to see our man from Watford on the front row of the grid. We've got Leo and Johnny. They'll be starting on the second row. Disco and Effie third row. NRP, Nikki and Uber fourth row. Dufinio and Amber Chewy, who was a late replacement to the league, rounding off them top 10 positions. It looks like Scotty just missed out, and yeah, I'd say just missed out. There was only a 10th in it. Very well matched, all these boys here. Hugo, P12, Zenith, P13. Grandesty, of course, our pro touring car driver, not the most experienced when it comes to GT3, so we're looking to see him improve during the race. And it'll be Fury heading up the back of the field. Let's get continuing. Let's get these boys with the fuel loads and sorting the brake ducts out. Best of luck to the guys on grid. We're just going to make a big shout out to the boys and make sure that they know the first corner at the Andretti hairpin's always going to be a bit of a nightmare, especially for the guys mid-pack. So the guys mid-pack do need to slam on them brakes a little earlier. Let's not have an incident at the start of the race. Let's see if we can get away. Of course, a little different now, so we can take a look back through the field. We've got daylight, and it's going to be daylight for the entirety. A bit of overcast weather there, but it is going to stay dry. So these boys were setting times in the dark with qualifying, so really trying out different weathers tonight. Of course, stick with us on YouTube once this sprint race is done. We've got the feature upcoming. It's a reverse grid race, double the laps of this race, and we have a mandatory pit in there too. And just to throw in another element, there is rain on the forecast, so these boys have really got their work cut out tonight. And we'll just take a look back at Fury at the back of the field in that beautiful McLaren. Great livery on there. We'll go back up. So can Andy or Leo do anything about our Bosnian race driver Jasko VR at the start of this race? He is on a commanding 79-point lead, but then we go back and it's crazy, because Andy and Dufinio are only 31 points behind Leo in second at the minute. Again, Andy and Dufinio joint third, so you know they're going to be split big time. Scotty currently 47 points behind them, but sitting on a nice 163 points. It's all to play for. I can't emphasise enough just how much it's going to start, it's going to change. The championships are going to be affected by tonight's racing. But again, we're looking at the battle for third in the championship with Andy and Dufinio, and to see if anyone can catch up with our man from Bosnia. Leo really needs a win tonight to try and close that gap down. It's going to be hard work for the boys on track. Smashing shot of them there. We've got Johnny in P4. He put in a hell of a lap there in the end, so here we go. We're going to keep on board with Johnny, so we get a good view at the start of this. Let's see who gets away cleanly, see if any jump starts. Headlights on. We are nearly green light. We're about to go racing in our sprint race. Rubbins racing. Here we go. Lights out, and it looks like Andy got a hell of a start there. It looks like Johnny bogged down there big time. We'll go back with Andy, who manages, he's leading away. Does it look like Jasko's going to send it up the inside? It looks like Andy and Jasko make a little touch there. Andy onto the brakes. Looks like Disco, the good boy, lads, be up there. Looks like NRP, Nicky managed to get it stopped too. We'll take a look back. Uber, a little side was there, and there's a Porsche rubbing against the Porsche. So these boys, BST and Zena, need to watch themselves out. And it looks like Fury got mixed up there. Who was it? It may have been Grandis. Nope. We'll have a look through. It was definitely Amber Chewy and John that's loses to that one. Back with our race leader Andy, our man from Watford, being hunted down by our championship leader Jasko, and in the Basco there we've got Disco rounding up. It looks like Jasko's going to have a go up here into the Rally Straight. It's a brave place to do it. Thinks better of it. Tucks himself back behind. What's Leo up to? He has Effie all over the back of him. Leo looked like he got wide, managed to catch it a little bit. We'll have him on board with Dufinio. Must have a great view of these. Look at these. Leo side by side with Effie, and Effie gets it wrong on the brakes a little bit there. He catches himself out, catches up with who was that there? NRP absolutely going for it. Back with Jasko. What's he doing? Andy has managed to pull out half a second on him. Good to see. We'll get back to the boys. Effie and NRP side by side. Very brave to do it around that section of track. Turn 10 into turn 11 now. Still on board with these. Dufinio having a look on the inside. They cover the line. That Z4 looks like it's got great traction. Looks like Jasko's really trying the Andy now. So Andy covers the line, pulls back onto the line. So Jasko really all over the back end of him now. Onto the brakes. It's going to be hard for Jasko to try and hang it on the outside. Andy covers the line extremely well. We'll take a look back. Leo now. Slight nudge with Dufinio there. Argy-bargy through the Andretti hairpin, but Leo very fairly gets the position back. Uber into a top 10 position, but it looks like BST is on the inside. We'll go on board with him. It does, and it looks like Who was that? Yeah, Fury got it wrong there, coming through turn 4, I believe. So big trade back. Uber P7 now. Jasko looks like he's so much closer to him. Let's go on board with Disco. He must get a fantastic shot of these boys. Look at this. Let's see what Disco's looking at. Wow, into turn 6, through the rail straight now. They're so closely matched. We'll go trackside. Andy covers the line. Jasko swings out wide. These boys are so close to one another. Had to go on board there with the capture candidates up. And it looks like Andy's managing to retain that position. Jasko very wide over the corkscrew there. Very dangerous place to try and get onto the black stuff there, because it likes to suck you in and pull you off. Again, Andy with managing to pull out like 4 attempts in that sector alone, and NRP's on the back end of Leo, but Leo looks like he's hunting down Definio. Again, Leo sitting in P2 in the championships, currently sitting in 5th at the minute. Got the line through there, Leo just with a much tighter line, and it looks like they're going to drag it out up the strip. Leo tucks back in behind Definio. Definio takes the racing line, holds the inside, it looks like. See if Leo goes around the outside, onto the brakes. Definio looks very handy in that section of track. Let's have a look what Disco's looking at. So yeah, still as you were in that section of track. We'll take a look back. What is Hugo up to? Looks like Fury's managed to get going again in the right direction. So Hugo P13 at the minute. It looks like someone was very wide there, but it was a yellow Ferrari pulling back on track. It was Gradesty getting it wrong. You've got to be a little more careful joining on track. No harm done. All the lads pointing in the right direction. Back with the race leaders. What's going on? It looks like Andy, Jasko and Disco are in a bit of a league of their own at the minute. Definio, Leo and NRP are all very close together, as well as Andy gets sideways. He's lost the car coming through turn 6, and Andy's span around. Will he managing to get it back? It looks like Disco's going to try and have a go at Andy. Jasko, sorry, into the corkscrew. So Jasko with Disco in close proximity, very much like the Circuit of Americas, who Disco gives Jasko a real run for his money. As Andy got going again, he has, pointing in the right direction, got Leo in front of him. We'll go on board. Leo still trying to figure out the man, the mystery that is Definio, trying to find a way past him at the minute, but bit of a gap. Let's look what Disco's up to, not letting our man Bosnian driver get away, but look at the drive that Lambo gets out of that corner. Looks like he's got nitrogen oxide stuck on that. Into the Andretti hairpin now. Let's see what they're like. Onto the brakes, or hard onto the brakes. Into turn 1. Through the Andretti hairpin. It's as you were. Quick look back at what Andy's up to. Ooh, Definio looked like he'd got locked up all the way into there. Of course, the sprint race, I don't think that's going to matter too much. You know, the tyres will cool off during the lap, but he can't be doing that in the feature. Otherwise, that guy's going to have to stop for tyres a couple of times. And it looks like Nicky's caught onto the back of Uber. Uber sitting in a real good points scoring position at the minute. Again, Uber very unlucky not to have his podium last time out at the Circuit of Americas. Had a time penalty coming into the pit and it was rudely taken away from him. Looks like Andy's really struggling with the back end of that car now, but managing to keep it in the right direction. Now we've got Johnny in the Bentley, hunting down Scotty, who's definitely moved up the order. I think he started P11, so into P8 is Scotty, our Welsh driver from Swansea. Again, huge shout out to him for his win this week. First win in the Robbins Racing League, and we absolutely encourage it. He's doing so well. On board with Johnny, will he stick it up the inside of Scotty? He thinks better of it, onto the brakes. Good respect shown, back with BST. Hugo in front of him with Fury for company. What a drive that 911 gets off, but Hugo's going to cover the line. Ooh! He covers the line, then they come back on each other. We've got a yellow flag coming into the corkscrew. Yellow flag, please watch your line coming into the corkscrew. It looks like Johnny's managed to find a way around Scotty there. Back with Leo. What's he up to? Still trying to hunt down Definio there, our Czech driver from Alamok. Of course, Definio and Andy joint third in the standings, but Andy down in 5th at the minute. Only 2 places there, and it looks like Leo really compromised line through all that. So back, what's Scotty up to? Really trying to hunt down the back of that Bentley, but it's no mean feat, let me tell you. Back with Uber, what's he up to? He's got Andy firmly in his sights, and it looks like Andy's limping around with that 488, not being able to put the power down. And again, Andy's gone off. We've got a yellow flag coming out at turn 4, guys. Please be careful. There we go, Andy's facing in the right direction again, but he's going to have Johnny for company, definitely. Look how fast that Bentley GT Continental catches up with him. What's Leo up to? On board with him, still Definio managing to hold on to the line, not make it easy for our Brazilian driver here to find a way past him into the corkscrew. Massive elevation change, car goes slight, and he just about make out, who's that in front of him there? It is Disco in front of him, and Jasko's managed to pull a 2-second gap on Disco here. So Jasko once again laying down his authority as one of the top GT3 drivers in the Rubbins Racing League, but Duffino certainly with a bit between his teeth will not want to let him go. Fantastic fighting between Duffino and Leo. Back to Johnny, hunting down Andy. Can Andy keep that in check? That back end just looks so lively from our man from Watford. It's cost him a ton of points this season. What's Hugo up to? Through the rainy curve, through turn 10 now. Tricky one that with the curb on the left, likes to bring you in. Bit of damage on Hugo's car, but shouldn't affect him none. Big shout out again. It looks like Johnny got very well. Fury got very sideways there. Yellow flag in turn 11, but Hugo managing to point it in the right direction. While we've got eyes and ears on Hugo coming up into the Andretti hairpin. Big shout out to him for his commentary on the LMP1 the other night. And a big announcement. Welcome Hugo to the Rubbins Racing team on board this now as a marshal, newly promoted tonight. It's good to have you as part of the team, and we're hoping to hear a bit more of your commentary, buddy. You did us all proud last night, buddy. Congratulations on the promotion. Can't wait to see you back on the Discord. What's Andy up to? It looks like Johnny's found a way past. So Andy now in the draft of that Bentley, and it looks like that Bentley was very wide there. Bit of dirt thrown up, so Andy with the windscreen wipers on, trying to get rid of that, trying to see properly. Into the corkscrew. It's weird, because Andy looks very planted through there. It's the fast bends, and just about seeing Scotty in the background there too. He's not letting it go. Ooh, Leo. So close to Duffino there, and Duffino with living dangerously. What's going on in front? That is a Lambo, I think. Is that Jasko? Just what's happened with Jasko, and Jasko is down into P2. Missed it on stream, 3 seconds behind Disco. So Jasko not having it his own way. Lamborghini in front, Lamborghini. So Disco absolutely bolted, and of course last time out the Circuit Americas. Let's back and have a look what Leo's up to. Yeah, Disco ran out of fuel in our feature race. He would have easily been fighting for the win, if not an absolute credible second. But ran out of fuel along with Uniclark in the feature, so these boys definitely with a bit more practice in race mode settings. I'm sure his mechanics will not be making that mistake again, but Jasko, we missed it on stream. Looks like Johnny side by side. Does NRP cover the line? He does. Very fair though, Johnny on the outside. These two are going to drag it out up the road here. This is going to be very brave, because this isn't a corner to go side by side, and it looks like NRP sticks it right back behind Johnny again. Wise decision, wise move made, and Effie's caught up with Andy. Andy is going back down the order. Andy, Scotty and Effie all together. Effie always giving us a show. Is he on the brakes? Too late there, very, very close there. He had to pull off his line. Looks like Andy's got a fantastic run coming out of the corkscrew into the rainy curve. Let's have a look how this car's behaving on track. Moving dangerously on the curb there, but looks good through that section of track as Scotty loses the front end of his 488. Has to collect it again. Fantastic driving there by Welshman. Got trackside as they're coming through the final turn, 10-11. And F is really on the arse end now of Andy. We'll keep on board with him. We'll go on board with Effie as he comes up onto the Andretti hairpin. This is what Effie's seeing. Andy defends the inside. Effie onto the brakes. He looks good on the brakes, you know. I think every time I think he's going to hit the back end of the 488, and it looks like Scotty and Effie got very much caught up there, so Effie's going to have to let Scotty back through, and he does. It's a shame that we had all them very close together. Back with Leo. What's he up to? Looks like he's a little closer now to Duffino, but this isn't a great place to lose any downforce, especially through that section of track. You're so reliant upon that car behaving and doing the things that you want it to do. The cameraman takes a day off into the corkscrew. Looks like Leo was serving a slowdown there. It really does. On board with Nicky, chasing down Johnny. Doing a fantastic job. Johnny, of course, our British driver, based in France. Serves in the French Foreign Legion. Currently 14th in the championships on 38 points. Only 2 points behind the console. Who again, isn't present tonight, so looks like Johnny's going to move up the order. It's good to see our new drivers really putting pedal to the metal. And back with Scotty. What's going on with him? Very close to Effie. I think even Effie's made that position up somewhere during the lap. Into the corkscrew maybe. We missed that one. Again, please, on YouTube, leave us your comments. We will get back to him. Who do you think's going to win? Who's your fan favourites? Leave us a comment. Leave us a like. We'll answer as many as we possibly can. Let's have a look what Jasko's up to. He's closed that 3.5 second gap. That gap is now 1.1 second. You can physically see Disco in front of him. Whether Disco's trying to manage the race at this point, I'm not sure. 8 minutes to go, more than halfway through. Looks like Disco struggling a little bit of grip, and Jasko straight back on him. So it's going to be interesting. Disco's not going to have it his own way. Jasko, of course, holding P1. Not sure what happened. Maybe made a mistake or had a slowdown, had to back off. But at the minute, Jasko P2, our GT3 points leader, into the corkscrew. We'll have a look what Scotty's up to. Lost sight a little bit of Effie. Effie definitely pulled a little bit of time through there. Let's have a look towards the back here. Xena still going with what looks to be half of a 911. It's good to see him keep going. Let's take a look. We've got Fury out on track and that fantastic McLaren. Only, what's he, 10 seconds there behind Grandad Steve. Grandad Steve is our pure touring car racer. He's not used to this class of racing, but it is very nice to have him still out on track. And Baturi now can just about see Hugo in front of him. Let's have an onboard. You can see the Bentley up in front. Hugo, of course, newly promoted Marshal of the Ribbons Racing team. Fantastic job he did the other night. And while we're saying that, it looks like Jasko's really caught up on the back end at the minute. Looks like Definio has a time penalty. Same with BST with the red markers at the side. Jasko really on the arse end now of Disco. We'll go on board. Is that a bit of traffic in front? It is. It's BST. So BST, you've got the leaders coming up on you, buddy. You will have to move out of the way. So he's about to get blue flag, definitely. Let's go track side, make sure they're all behaving. Yep. Is that BST? It is. So BST, please move out of the way when you get the opportunity, please. Thank you. Oh, that's fair enough. That's definitely out of the way. So Disco through, Jasko through. Good driving. Where's Definio and Leo? It looks like Definio's got through as well, so Leo will be next up. If Xena, be aware that the leaders are coming up, buddy, that'd be very much thankful. Andy's got up on the back end of Effie here. Back to the race leaders. There's only half a second in it at the minute. Again, get your comments involved in the YouTube page. We will get back to as many as possible. Who's going to win? Who's your fan favourite? Join the Discord channel. The link will be in the description. We have a touring car league, a Thursday night light series, oh, as we say that, somebody's retired to the pit. I'm not sure who that was. Seem to have lost someone, and that is Jasko out. Jasko VR has retired to the pit lane. I'm not sure what's going on there at all. Hopefully we don't see a disconnect as Andy gets very wide. Failed tail happy into the wall. It looks like Scotty's going to have that position done. Andy really struggling with the back end of that car. They'll have to get it sorted for the feature race. It looks undrivable. So Disco now with a 4-second lead in this race after what could only be described as technical difficulties. Our Bosnian-based driver, current GT3 point leader, is out of the sprint race. This is going to have massive implications in the GT3 standing as Disco goes very wide. It's going to get a slowdown. It's definitely going to get a slowdown for that one. Is he going to allow Definio to catch up with him? Let's go on board with Definio. Just about make out Disco in the background there. Didn't lose too much time though. It's still over 4 seconds. We'll see what that's like when they come over there. Currently, Definio 4 attempts down on his best. Go trackside. Have a look what Leo's up to, come into that same section of track. Ooh, got a bit too much into that corner there. He pushed out a little wide, whether that was on the brakes, I'm not too sure, but still in a good point scoring position. So again, Jasko VR has a 79 point lead over Leo. Leo currently sitting in P3. Could do with trying to get himself up the order, but he's currently 5 seconds behind Definio. So Disco holding P1 across the line. Lap 12, sorry. He must be smiling. Jasko was definitely on the back end of him. There was a disconnect, unfortunately. And with a disconnect, of course, you're not eligible to score any points, regardless of race distance won. And just in the background, you can see Definio, our Czech driver from Olomouc, coming through. Can he hold on to P2? It'd be a fantastic point scoring position. Last time around, though, Definio was a full second and 2 tenths quicker than Disco. And we have, we've got, what, 4 minutes to go? 1:25 a lap. If Definio keeps putting in these lap times, he is going to catch up with the back end of Disco. That'll be interesting. Have a look what Effie's up to. Oh, we've got a great... It looks like BST's come out the way for the boys. Fantastic driving, buddy. Thank you. Effie now on the back end of Nicky. Nicky in that very colourful Z4 there. Very distinctive. Onto the brakes. Coming through turn 4 into turn 5. It looks like F has got plenty of power in that Cadillac. Just checking out the gap up there as well. It's back up to 4 seconds. Whether it's the concertina effect, I'm not sure. And Effie's really close now. It's going to be a brave guy to make a move into turn 6. Up the rail straight, and Nicky goes wide. Nicky goes wide, so the Effie through into P6. He is absolutely gone. Let's stick with him as he comes through the corkscrew. See that elevation change in the cockpit. Barely see the apex there. Great line. Has Nicky got going again? He has. What's happened with Andy? He seems to have pulled up on the back end of Scotty. So Andy and Scotty, are they going to give us a show with 2.5 minutes to go of the sprint race? Let's see. Both of them inside of a top 10 position. Of course, Andy and Dafinio currently joint third in the standings on 210 points. Dafinio P2, Andy P9. So Dafinio's definitely going to, well, I say eke out that lead there, but there's another race to go, so anything can happen. But Andy, not the start he was after, definitely. We'll have to get that back end in check. We'll go on board with him as they come into the Andretti hairpin. We'll see if that car's still as tail happy. Looks like he's got a bit more top end over Scotty. Andy showing him the inside. A man from Watford with plenty of experience. Look how much he closes up on him. We've got a crash in front. Crash in front. It was Effie. Effie's had to reset. Effie's going to drop behind these two. So has Effie got going again? He has. Looks like BST's Zena's come way out the way. Good man. You come out the way for Effie. He does indeed. Fantastic driving. Thank you for coming out the way, my friend. Brilliant. Back with Andy now. 1 minute 45 left. It's like Effie's got the pace to jump these two, but that car does look to be quite tail happy, and you can see Andy feathering the throttle there. He was not flat through that section of track. Oh no, sorry, that's Scotty in front of him. Wasn't flat in that. Oh, he's got a good run on him. Are they going to be side by side coming into the corkscrew? They are, and Andy with the overspeed. Andy into P7. Just as I was saying, Dafinio's holding P2, and Andy was back there in P8 and P9, and it looks like Effie tagged the back end of Scotty. Scotty going. It looks like Effie got the worst of it though, so it's as you were. Can Andy hold on? Very wide through the rainy curves there. We'll go back and have a look at what Disco's up to. Disco, it looks like he's through turn 4. He is coming into turn 5. Currently 2 tenths down on his lap delta, but has a healthy 4.4 second lead, so doesn't really need to push. Maybe managing the race from here. Where's Dafinio? Just coming through that section of track. Just about to see that red AMG at the top. Where's Leo? About the same gap really between them there. 4 seconds, 4 seconds. Back with Scotty, who looks like he's coming up on the timing boards, as close to Andy. In the concertina effect into the Andretti hairpin. Looks like Andy's managed to get that car going again. Where's Effie? That's how much time he dropped. Back behind Zena. Zena being very fair at the back at the minute, but definitely doing a good job under blue flag conditions. What's Steve up to? A 1:32 last time around. Not the bestest of laps. Again, Steve, our pro touring car driver. The 488, a bit of a different beast. Set to 1:29. What's Hugo up to? Coming through turn 4, has Amber Tui just about in front of him in the Thrustmaster 911, and you could just about see Effie there. There you can, coming through turn 5. It's good to see these boys keep going for it. Let's have a look back on board with Disco, because we haven't got long of this race left at all. I think this may even be the last lap of the race, so we'll stick in with Disco as he comes through, let's say, sector 1 here, through into turn 4. Bit of curb, as much as you like. Who is that in front there? I don't know who that is. Is it Steve, I think, maybe? It is Steve. So Steve, be please aware that the leaders are coming up on you, buddy, but I think you've got enough of a gap. Up, he pulls over anyway. Good driving there. We'll go trackside. Fantastic. Comes out the way of the race leader. Doesn't get himself involved at all. Dafinio will be next up for him, as well as Leo. Looks like Ubaz in a right good point scoring position. He is indeed. He's got a good back. He's got 3 seconds back to Johnny, so we'll see if Ubaz can maintain. Let's have a quick look at the standings, because last time he's got an 11-second penalty again. Ubaz with these penalties, it's going to cost him definitely P4. 100%, but he'll keep that. I think it'll maintain P5 as we're on with Disco for the rainy curve through turn 10, now into turn 11. Looks like he's going to take the win for the sprint race. Of course, Jasko with the disconnect, but Disco was holding P1 by rights across the line. Disco making up for that disappointment in the feature race in Croatia. Good racing, buddy. Dafinio comes across the line, P2. That's going to be great for his championship points. Leo, P3. Good driving, buddy. Ubaz coming up onto the same set of track now. Of course, Ubaz with a 10-11 second time different penalty, unfortunately. So he's going to come across the line, and it looks like it'll be P5 for our Dutch driver from Dreef. So Johnny across the line will inherit 4th. Yep. Now, Nicky comes through the rainy curve into turn 11. This is going to be a great point scoring position for Nicky. Across the line, P6, good point scoring position. We'll go back with Scotty, who has just come out of the back marker there. I think it's Fury coming out the way, so Welshman from Swansea, currently 4th in the standings. He's going to add a pile of points onto his position there. Good driving, Scotty. Andy now. Looks like him and Effie are going to drag it out. Who's going to have it between the both? Andy just about holds on. Close driver between those two. Amber Chewy, late replacement for tonight, inside of a top 10 position, should be very happy at that result. Hugo, our new Rubbins Racing Marshal, across the line, P11. Good driving, my friend. And there we go, there we have it. We will have a reverse grid race for our feature, so please don't go anywhere on YouTube while we sort this out. Of course, all the fast guys at the front, Disco, Daphina, Leo, Johnny, Uber, all these boys will be at the back, so there'll be plenty of overtaking to do. So what we'll do is we'll jump back into the lobby, get it set up. It's going to be a 31 lap race, so we're in for a big one here. We've got rain on the way. It's going to be unbelievable. So again, please stick with us on YouTube while we just sort the lobby out. We'll be back on. We'll let the drivers have 2 minutes, get the cigs ready, get the drinks sorted. Goes lights out. Look at that for a view. And it just looks like Disco's coming round the corner now. So it's up to on Scotty. It looks like Scotty's gone. Scotty's got a great jump. Steen to 3rd. Looks like that McLaren struggling a little bit in the rain. It looks like Zina's managed to get a bit of a jump this time. With Smurfy 51, good luck Uber. So Uber always with plenty of support as Steve goes very wide for the first corner. Let's have a look back. Looks like Andy's managed to get through that melee as well. Looks like Uber's pushed out a little bit and he's managed to pull it back. So we've got Daphina side by side with Leo. Let's see how this unfolds. As we look at Disco getting hard on the brakes, and Leo looked like he's shot off there. He's lost a bit of traction. Uber looking, poaching. Hugo going down the order a little bit. Effie in front of him, both got caught on the grass. Uber up to 7th. Let's have a look at them. He's got the position done. Effie's on the inside where you have 3 wide coming into turn 5. That's crazy. Back up with our leaders. What's happening? BST's not letting Scotty go, and he's got Fury in close proximity. Difficult to follow. Both of them onto the curb, living dangerously. Back with Steve, what's he up to? Was in 3rd, coming down the order a little bit, but still holding a good position there. It looks like Daphina's really on the arse end of Effie now. Effie tries to pull out the draft a little bit, into the corkscrew. Wet tyres, full fuel loads. These boys as heavy as they have been all day now. Great to watch these come through the rainy curves. Looks like Uber got a hell of a drive off there, pushing a little wide. Brings it back into the apex. Lovely line there, and it looks like he's very wide. He's going to have to be careful joining back onto the track. This Disco cuts right through the middle of him. What a line by Disco through that bit of track. Seriously, what a move there. We'll go on board with him now as he tries the undercut. Taps Leffy a little bit. Looks like Andy's... Well, is that very wide there? Andy's side by side, and it's Scotty who got a bad run. Look at these boys into the Andretti hairpin, side by side. It looks like Disco's going to have a move up the inside. Thinks better of it. Uber hits Andy. Uber hits Andy, so Andy's going to get back in front of him there. It looks like they've just about got away with that. Yeah, they have. So who is that? That's Amber Chewy leading the way, but Fury looks like he's really on the back end of Zena. One of these boys with a drive-through as Fury gets very, very out of sorts coming through that section of track. Andy with a great run out of there. Amber Chewy on the right of him. They're going to drag strip it out into turn 5. He's going to have the inside, so Andy looks like he's going to hold P4, and he does. Uber looks like he's having a look at Effie there as well. We'll go on board with him. Side by side, this is going to be brave. Wow, Effie just about managing to get it stopped. Taps the 911 in front of him. Effie's had the first yellow marker of the night. He needs to watch his braking zones, otherwise he's going to be called in. Effie needs to watch the braking zones. He needs to be careful with the back of the car, and again he taps a little bit. So these boys all with full fuel loads. Back with our race leaders. It looks like Zion is just about holding on from Fury. Great coloured livery cars as they enter out of the rainy curves. Very appropriately named for tonight. And Disco on the curb too back there. So what's Andy up to? Just about making out Disco. These two with a 2.5 second gap. Amber Tui into turn 11. Looks like Andy's got a much better setup for the rain. Daphina now tries to get the traction out of turn 11. It's not going to be easy to catch that aim during the straight lines, but it's Daphina versus Uber. mods and marshals at Rubbins Racing doing it properly into the heavy braking zone, and Dafinio was locked up all the way around there. It looks like we've got a bit of lag through that section of track. Ubar struggling with the front end of that car, couldn't get the grip, fights back. It looks like Scotty got a little tap for his money there as well, as Ubar tries to put the barrier down. Steve just about holding on. Back up, what's going on at front? Looks like Steve got a real drive out there, and it looks like this goes through as well. Fury's on the wet stuff there. There's puddles forming on the right hand side of that track, so living dangerously. Little tap from Andy letting him know he's there. He's definitely got a bit of a Ferrari coloured paint scheme on the front of his McLaren. It's as they were coming into turn 6, coming up the Rally straight. We'll take a look back. What's Johnny up to? Johnny on the back end of through there. That was so close coming through that section of track. Living dangerously. You do not want to be out in the sand through there. It looks like Steve. Yeah, I could hear that 488 in the background there. Steve on a good lap into the corkscrew. Very clean by all the boys. We'll go trackside. And Nicky's on the back end of these two, so very close, all these boys to ever. Back with Dafinio. Dafinio trying to chase down number 2. He's on to the... I keep saying that it's so living dangerously being on the... Looks like someone's into the pit there, and it's BSD. I'm sure he's serving his drive-through penalty. So into the pit, and we're on board with Andy, who's really up the trumpet of Disco. This is a fight for P1. Disco's going to hold the inside. He can't make the other move now. He's got to stick to the inside line. Is Andy going to try and make it work on the outside? Onto the brakes. Andy onto the brakes, holding P1, but can he get the drive out? Our man from Watford had a torrid time, but it looks like that was a hell of a move into the Andretti hairpin. Unbelievable move, and we're having reports something's happening a little further back. What's going on? Looks like Nicky's on the back end of Ubar, Ubar on the back end of Steve. Steve having a much better outing in the win, it would seem. What's going on? Has Andy lost it? He has his round. Andy resets, and he's very close to Effie that time, resetting there. Andy needs to be careful. Hopefully he's got going again. He has, but just narrowly avoiding Johnny. We're on board with Dafinio as he's trying to weigh up Amber Chewy into turn 5. This would be brave. 2 cars do not go into this corner. Yep, Dafinio thinks better of it, and it looks like Amber Chewy's very wide. Has he pulled it back on track? He has, though. Where's John Boy in all this? Johnny is coming up on Andy, and Andy's caught right up on the back of Amber Chewy. Amber Chewy's struggling with grip a little bit. It does look like, for all intent, nope, the rain's still pouring here. We'll go and have a look what Nicky's up to. Into the corkscrew. Ubar, top 10 position. Steve with a much better outing in the rain, of course. Gets very, very wide in the rainy curves there. We'll go trackside. Of course, this race is going to have massive, massive implications onto championship standings as Nicky gets very close to the back end of Ubar. Managing just about keeping it out. Ubar going to fight for that position. He is. So Ubar 9th at the minute. Trackside with them. Drag straight. What's Johnny up to? Johnny, Andy, Ampatui and Dafinio all so close together. Let's go on board with Johnny as they come into the Andretti hairpin with the reds on. It looks like someone's wide now. Who is that on the goes? Fury. It's Fury, and he waits for the train to go by, which is very good driving from him. It's good to see his awareness there. Disco with a very healthy 5-second lead over Effie at the minute in the Cadillac. That Cadillac must be a nightmare in this weather. Again, a couple of things to watch out for. The battle for third in the championship. Andy and Dafinio on 110 points each. Is Andy makes another mistake. I'm not sure what's going on, but Andy's gone around and Johnny got another tap. Look, is that Johnny? Yeah, Johnny into P4, definitely there. He's going to have to drive. Well, every one of them side by side. Yeah, we've got reports from the mechanics in the pit lane that there are big puddles forming on the inside line of turn 5. The guys don't want to be doing side by side with Johnny up into the corkscrew. It's onto the brakes. Who's going to have it? It looks like Andy's got the inside. Hopefully they see one another. They do. So Johnny delays the steering just a little bit. And all the while in the background, Ubar trying to make his way through here, trying to pick up the spaces. We'll go on board with him as they come through the rainy curve. Look how close this is. We're on lap 6, ladies and gentlemen, and these cars separated by a second. A testament to the Rubbins Racing League. All these boys so close to each other, and believe me, I think Nicky's behind this too. He is. Nicky, Zaina, Leo. Wow, Leo into P12. Leo not having a good one here, and it looks like Steve just about catches that. Look at this. Zaina needs to be careful coming up the main straight. Look at the boys so close to each other. We've got a clump of 5 cars here coming up into the Andretti hairpin. We're going to go on board with Nicky though. He must have a fantastic shot of him. Looks like someone's got very sideways. Who is that again? It looks like, yeah, it might have been Johnny that lost the back end of it. Managed to bring it round, and Leo hits the puddle on the inside. He's going to lose momentum coming out of there. Gets absolutely swamped. Back with Definio on the back end of Andy. Andy came a cropper here, turn 5. Look on the right-hand side, ladies and gentlemen. Look at those puddles. You cannot hit them puddles, they'll send you off into the wall, and Andy's fell victim to them already. It does look like the rain's kind of slowing down a little bit, so we'll have to keep a lookout onto track conditions and see when it's starting to dry up. The boys with a big judgment call to make. When do they pit? When do they come in? Fury, Grandad Steve, Nicky and Uber so close to one another. Fury showing Steve the inside line there, but Steve keeping his line. Steve now trying to wear Nicky up, coming into the corkscrew, but Nicky managing to keep a good line on the inside. Smack from behind, and it looks like that McLaren ran wide a little bit and missed the braking zone. It looks like Fury's going to have to give that position back. And he's in the inside, he does, he waits on him. Good driving, mate, thank you very much. Back with Definio, chasing down Andy, our man from Watford, and oh, there was a tap there, there was a tap. Back with the driving, and we're on board with Grandad Steve. Just about missed his braking zones. Oh, and in the background Fury gets it all wrong, but managing to collect the car properly. He nearly spun out there, but managing to keep it pointing in the right direction. Andy back down to P10, and it looks like Nicky and the Z4's having a bit of a better time at this time. That Z4 looked like it may have been a handful in the rain, but he's managing to keep it going in the right direction. It looks like Andy again has lost the back end of that car. Is Steve going to stick it up the inside? I think he does. And all the while, Disco's lost that 4.5 second lead. It's down to 2 as Disco hit a puddle somewhere on track. I'm not sure, but Effie now in 7/10 of Disco coming up the rail straight. These two both living dangerously on that curve there. It's absolutely waterlogged to death. And look at the track. Look at the track. There's a dry bits of this track forming here. So on lap 10 of the 31 lap race, and there is already sort of the track drying up. Nowhere near slick weather yet though. Zayna on the back of Linsfoot. Fury now. Oh, so close to Leo. Leo getting it all wrong through that section. We're not sure what's going on with Leo at the minute, but he's going backwards, that's for sure. Ooh, does he get it stopped? Fury just about getting it stopped, and it looks like Grandad Steve having a hell of a battle here. We'll go on board with him, coming through the rainy curves. On board with Grandad Steve, the pro touring car driver, in tonight for the GT3 classes, trying his hand in it. Currently sitting in P9. Gets a much better drive out of turn 10, but into turn 11 looks like Nicky's defending the line, defending the inside. Good driving by both of them. And Nicky very wisely gives Steve the room on the inside. They're going to drag it out. We'll go on board with Andy, who must have a fantastic shot of these. Is Andy going to try his luck? Steve doesn't see him on the inside, I don't think. Onto the brakes now. Do the boys manage to get it stopped? Looks like they do. Into the Andretti hairpin. Looks like Andy's going to try his luck on the inside, and Steve loses that position. Currently still in a top 10 position though, and we'll go look at Effie, who's pulled into another 5/10 now. Disco, looks like Disco struggling in the wet conditions. He's going to be willing that rain to stop. Let that AMG have a break. We got on there. We've still got a lot of good luck, Uvas, and I think we're getting reports off Fury's engineers that this is the first ever time he's actually used the wet tyres, so a baptism of fire, if you will. And Batu, what's he up to? Scotty in front of him, the most improved driver of the week, of course. Again, massive shout out to Scotty, who managing to pull off his first Rubbins Racing victory this week. A huge milestone and a feather in his cap. Also, just while we're on the subject, Jasko VR, bit of a disappointment for this one, had to get off, but we're having reports that his missus is having a baby, so massive congratulations to Jasko and the wife from all of the Rubbins Racing team and all the Rubbins Racing drivers. We wish you all the best, buddy. We're watching Amaturi just come from the rainy curve. Good line through there, but we've got some fighting going on. Definio now on the back end of Steve. Definio in P11. Some of the puddles there are an absolute nightmare. Looks like Steve's trying to show Nicky the inside, and Definio outbraking himself. Nope, manages to pull it back. Leo all the while looking to try and see if he can pick up some species. And Effie on the inside. Well, I don't know what's going on, but Disco definitely with a compromised line through there. We're going into turn 4. Remember, boys, turn 5 on the inside curb. There's plenty of puddles. It looks like Disco's going to live dangerously. Is he going to avoid them? He is. Fantastic, side by side. Effie through in the Cadillac, but does he push out wide a little much? He does, so Disco's back up the inside. Come on, lap 10, lads, and they were going on the race leader here. Coming up into turn 6, onto the rail straight. Disco back with a lead. It's going to be difficult for Effie to try and pull up the side of him, especially into the corkscrew. All Disco has to do is defend that line, and he looks like he has done a good job of it. Of course, Effie on a yellow flag for touching. I think they both got out of shape there, so nothing doing. Back with Ambaturi now. Looks like Scotty's pulled a bit of breathing room out, and we could just about make out the clouds breaking a little bit. So Andy really on the back end of Ubar. Andy currently 6/10 up on his best. It looks like Ubar sliding around through the corkscrew. It might look fantastic, but it's definitely not the fastest way. Andy's going to try and stick it up the inside on the rainy curve. At least the camera angle suggested. What's Stefano up to? Really on the back end of Steve and Nicky now. Steve and Nicky giving us a hell of a show. Some fantastic driving, and of course Steve, Nicky, first time out in the GT3 classes, and both of them in a top 10 position. Should be very proud of it. Let's see if they can hold on to this position. Little tap there from Stefano, but nothing doing. Still holding the position. Looks like they're going to try drag strip it out now. Stefano and Steve are going to be side by side. A little tap on the back again. These boys not giving each other any quarter at the minute. What's going on further back? Leo now really struggling in the wet conditions. He may have hit a few puddles here and there, but unusual to see our man who's second in the standings on 41 points really back down in the order. Of course, him and Andy were fighting over the positions there. Well, Andy and Stefano joint third, so there's definitely going to be some repercussions from this race here, and it looks like Disco again has got a little wide there, and Effie's managed to pull out a second on him, so good driving Effie. We'll see if he can keep it going. Andy's caught up again on the back of Ubar. Ubar looks like he's really struggling through turn 5. The puddle's been a bit of a nightmare there. The rain, as I say, is still absolutely pouring down here. We're on lap 11. We are due haze at some point. Should dry the track out, but we shall see. That's due around about lap 15. Andy onto the brakes, trying to avoid an accident, and he hits into the side of Ubar. Just got his braking zone wrong. No malice in it. The boys are going again in the right direction. Disco managing to pull back on him now. Let's have a look how fast that caddy is in a straight line. Foot flat to the floor. Let's have a look at the speedo. Let's see how fast Disco's going to do down into the rail straight. Good lap last time by Disco, but Effie a full second in front. Onto the brakes. It does look like Effie pushes wide through that section of track, but doesn't he have bring it back on the exit, so not compromised. Ubar now. Andy through on track. Andy up to P6. Again, Leo second in the standings. Andy and Stefano third, so Andy in a good place at the minute, and Andy looks like he's on the back end of Ambaturi now as well. Bit of a slide there into the Andretti hairpin. Thank you on YouTube for leaving the comments and leaving the likes. We really appreciate it here at the Rubens Racing. Please come and get involved in the Discord channel. It's absolutely free. We've got racing throughout the week. We have Touring Car Leagues on a Tuesday, the Thursday Night Light Series, the Friday GT4 in Italy, Saturday LMP1, and the staple GT3 League that you see before your eyes. Johnny holding P3. He's got a podium spot, and in all fairness, it looks like he's hunting Disco down. Rain's still pouring here, but it looks like it's dying off a little bit. Good line by Johnny through the corkscrew there for the rainy curve. We'll go on board with him, have a look what he's seen. Quite an elevation change there through the rainy curve. Into turn 10. Good line there. Disco on the curve. Just about make Effie out in front, who's managed to pull a further 2 seconds, so another second that lap. What's Ubar up to? Still with Ambaturi in front, but I think Andy's made up another spot there. Back with Johnny. Johnny and Disco side by side. It's a straight drag strip into the Andretti hairpin, but Johnny's going to have the inside. But Disco definitely lasted the late breakers. I'm just going to have a look at the fuel load here. Johnny's on 43 litres, Disco 60 litres. Yeah, Disco taking no chances tonight. He could probably finish this race and another one, but can you blame him? Missing out on a hell of a result in the feature. Shout out to the staff team at Rubens Racers and all the drivers currently racing under the Rubens Racing banner. The quality of racing this week has just been a testament to the racing and skill level here at the Rubens Racing. I was going to say, can Leo fight it out with Jasko in the top 5 standings, but Jasko again had to leave, his wife having a baby. Massive congratulations to him. Massive shout out to Hugo for his commentary. Ooh, Johnny, so sketchy through turn 5 at the rail straight, manages to keep it in check. Yeah, huge shout out to Hugo with his LMP1 commentary, fantastic job. Also with that, massive congratulations on the promotion to Hugo, who is now a Rubbins Racing Marshal. So it'd be great to have him involved in the team. No one deserved it more. He put in a hell of a shift the other night, and can't wait to get him involved. He will, of course, be commentating the next GT3 race next week. There'll be a different commentator for the LMP1. So Hugo's going to be taking up the mantle here. He'll have a full grid of cars to go, and he's very, very experienced. He knows where to look. He can see the split times. Looks like all the lads now are going to need their headlights on big time. It's going to be even more difficult to spot that racing line as well, I think. On board with Ubar as he's trying to hunt down Amber Tui into turn 11, the last corner. Well, it's Andy up to. Andy can just about see Scotty in front. These both actually fighting it out in Croatia as well, the Circuit of Americas, into the Andretti hairpin. It's 488 versus 488. Of course, Scotty on a bit of a high after his results of late. Been doing absolutely fantastic. And Andy hits the puddle! Andy hits the puddle! He hits the puddle! He's going to lose a bit of momentum and he's going again. Ubar, meanwhile, is catching onto the back of Amber Tui. Big warning there, boys, out the Andretti hairpin turn 1. There are puddles on the inside, on the left-hand side, so please be wary. We're following Ubar, our Dutch driver from Dreef. As Andy made another mistake. You think he has, he's spun around and Ubar's going to be through. Where's Nicky on track? Nicky through as well. Leo is just about to tag onto the back of it, so Andy from P5 down into P8, and Leo and Andy, who are second and third in the championship, are going to fight it out. Andy, big victim of the puddles at the minute. Looks like Amber Tui gets a hell of a drive off there. We'll go on board with Leo now. Bit of a concertina effect through that one. Andy's managed to pull a second on him. So Andy with bags of pace, just not able to put it down necessarily. And all the while, Ubar is managing to really pull up on the back of him. We'll go in the cockpit. Oh, just about a little tap there. So Amber Tui is going to pull back on the line. Yeah, Ubar very fairly lets him go again. Scotty and Uniclark, 10 points between them in the championship, but of course Uniclark not here tonight. Scotty 4th in the championships on 163 points, 74 points behind Definio and Andy. Side by side, Ubar and Amber Tui are going to drag strip it out into the Andretti hairpin. Effie with a 6-second lead and into the Andretti hairpin. The Porsche is going to hold the inside line, but we know how difficult it is. We're going to go on board with Nicky. There's a puddle on the inside of here. Do they both avoid it? They do. Ubar very wide through that section of the track, but managing to pull it back on. Good line. I think Andy's on the back of these too. He's just about onto the back of these. And it would seem like rain has stopped. We're at lap 15, so we're looking for that dry line now. We're looking to see if any of the boys are willing to bring it in, and it looks like Zyner on the back of Fury. So again, these boys in 14th and 13th, it doesn't matter where you are in this Rubbins Racing League, they are fighting throughout the field. And these boys will fight over every last position on track. Ubar leading this train here. Ubar leading with Amber Tui, Nicky and Andy behind. Go on board with Nicky as he's chasing down that 911 into the corkscrew now. Really tricky to see anything, especially with the spray being chucked up, but it does look as if the rain has stopped. So we're just going to have a quick look on track. Go and have a look what Effie's up to. Not too much run time. He's got a 7-second lead advantage. You see the puddle on the inside there? Does. Very well done. Disco now through the Andretti hairpin. Takes a bit of a wider line through that section. Managing to avoid the puddle too. So good driving. Back with Leo. Leo into the pit. Has he seen that the track's drying out? Is he making his pit stop? Is he changing tyres? I don't usually stay with him during the pits, but let's have a look. It's usually anywhere between a 3 and a 5 second stop, but change of tyres may take a little longer. And yes, it does look like they're changing the tyres. I think Leo has made a gamble there. So Leo, Hugo and Steen to the pit. Are they all changing onto the dry tyres now? Time will tell. Again, Hugo, Steve and Leo with 1:32, 1:34 lap time, so we'll see what they're like when they come out of the pit. Looks like Amber Tui and Nicky fighting it out on track, very close to one another. What's Leo up to? Be first out on track, so let's have a look at him. We're going to be tentative. There's a big puddle on the exit of the pit lane. Hopefully he sees it. We'll go on board with him. And see that puddle just slightly there and just goes around it. Well done, mate. And where's Steve? Just coming out of it now. He's got Fury for company. Hugo still stood there, so Steve just coming out the same section of track now. Very sideways through there, trying to put the power down. It's going to be very tentative. Looks like Ambaturi has caught up with Nicky. Bit of a concertina effect, if you will. Is Hugo going again? He is just going again now, so back with Ambaturi through the rainy curve. I do want to see what Leo's up to on these dry tyres. Look at how tentative he's been on the... there's definitely a dry line there, though. So, probably an inspired choice. So I think we're about to see a lot of the other cars come around. And as I say that, Andy, Amaturi and Nicky still out on track, still out with the wet tyres. What's Fury up to? He's on the puddles. He got dragged off into the... He needs to be... where are Fury? Yeah, he's got Steve with him. So Hugo testing out the dry tyres there, just about to get going. Andy now, who's into the Andretti hairpin, will go trackside. Nicky doing a fantastic job in P6 at the minute. Late replacement driver for tonight. Looks like Fury's been shown blue flags. Blue flags. And who is that? Is that Effie through? It is. So Effie now has caught up to the back of Fury and Grandad Steve. So Effie and Fury and Grandad Steve will have to come out of the way. Be blue flagged, will only be blue flagged once, and it looks like Fury's been blue flagged 3 times here, so Effie onto the back of him. Effie, of course, had a 7-second lead, and it looks like Fury's come way out the way. Thank you, buddy. So next up, it will be Steve for Effie to take on. Effie with still on the wet tyres. What's Nicky up to? He's coming up on the timing screens, and it looks like Andy, P8 at the minute. Maybe the dry tyre was the way to go, I'm not sure though. Look at the lap times of them all. Last time around a 1:36, so last time I think Leo on the wets was a 1:34, so doesn't look like the dry tyre's the fastest at the minute, but there's definitely dry lines forming. We're on board with Nicky, through the rainy curve. Uber, look, for a second I thought it was coming into the pit, but just a bit wide with the curve there. Looks like Andy's still Uber's still struggling with the grip, but managing to get it down again, and Nicky's going for it. What's Ambaturi up to? He's reversing. Into turn 11, yellow flag, turn 11, yellow flag, turn 11, but he's going again, so that's not going to bother Definio too much. On board with Nicky as he's hunting down our Dutch driver from Dreef. Ubau with a fantastic line through that section of track, it must be said. He looks like he's going wide, 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 and he pulls it right back up. Andy, on the meanwhile, is catching him back up, and them headlights on that 488 are definitely knackered. They're not showing up, but it could be due to lag. I'm not too sure. We're back on board with Nicky. Hunting down Uber. Uber in a fantastic position at the minute. We'll have a look at the timings because, of course, Uber a bit susceptible to a penalty. But at the minute, it doesn't have to look like none of them have got time penalties. So we're going to have it fighting out on track instead of time penalties. So Uber holding P5. We'll stick on board with these boys as they're coming into the corkscrew. I'm taking a look at Andy, who's currently 3 tenths up on his best, so them wet still doing him some good. I think it's Leo was the first guy to come out onto the dry tyres. And last time around, Leo with a 1:31. Only Effie, Disco, that sort of people that are on that time, and I believe they're still on the wets. They are. Andy with a good drive through the rainy curves into turn 11. He's on the inside of Nicky. He's going to have that position done. It looks like Z4 versus... Ooh, so close. Nicky just about managing to collect the back end of that BMW Z4. Lap 19 at the minute, so we have 11 laps left of this race. We're into the last bit of this race. And of course, it looks like from Effie, Disco and Scotty, I don't think they've pitted for tyres, judging by the time difference with it all. Back on board with Nicky. Andy looks like he's trying to find a way past the man, the myth, the legend, that is Uber. That's not going to be an easy task. Andy having his share of misfortunes and he's onto the grass, going to keep it going. Just about keeps it pointing in the right direction, and we've had a disconnect there. I didn't see who that was. It was Fury having a bit of a torrid time tonight, but I will thank him very much for joining us here. Again, a massive shout out to Jasko VR with his new baby en route. Congratulations, buddy, from all the Rubbins Racing team. Nicky having a hell of a first showing as well. Lap 20 at the minute. Neglecting the race leaders a little bit because we've got fantastic racing throughout the field. And Andy's gone wide. We've got a yellow flag coming out the corkscrew. Yellow flag coming out the corkscrew. Andy's got going again. Lose that way off track there. Looks like it's Johnny. Yeah, Johnny. It went very wide for the Rainy Curve section. So Andy through, Nicky through. Somebody's got into the pit there. It's Uber. Could he get it stopped in time? He does. Definitely gets it stopped in time. So it looks like Uber's pitting for the dry tyres. Johnny through. So Uber's pitting for his dry tyres. He waited as long as he could for it. On board with Johnny at the minute, trying to hunt down our man from Watford. No easy task for Johnny. Andy with the headlights all done in, so a bit of a dark one. We'll have a look what Effie's up to. Can Effie hold on for his first ever Rubbins Racing win? It'd be fantastic to see that Cadillac on the sharp end of the grid for race results. What's Disco up to? Disco quite far behind, but definitely track drying out now. Will these boys pit for their tyres? Ubar still in the pit. Still in the pit. Wow. So Effie coming around the Rainy Curves. Will he take his wet tyres off here? We don't know. Looks like Steve just in the background. Nope. Fakes to go in. Good line into turn 11. Gets the power down. I think that is Steve in the background. It is. Steve having a good out in P12 at the minute. Disco. Disco into the pit. Does he get it stopped in time? He does. Well done, buddy. So Disco's going to jump in now and try and put on them tyres. What's Scotty up to? Scotty's going to stay out for another lap. See if he can put a bit of distance between them. So Scotty stays out on the wets. Disco jumps in. What's Johnny up to? Johnny, Andy, Nicky very close together. Disco just about coming out the pit now. So where is Nicky and co? Nicky into the pit. Where's Andy? Coming through turn 11 now. So Disco's going to have that position covered. Oh, and we've just been informed by the pit mechanics of Disco that they've not changed his tyres. The guy is still on the wet tyres. That's such a shame. Somebody's out of fuel. I think Amber Chewy is out of fuel. He is indeed. He's out of fuel on lap 21. Amber Chewy, who's having a hell of an outing, is out of fuel. I don't think he's going to even be able to coast it. Nicky's into the pit. We're having some real trials and tribulations, just like the end of Croatia here. Defino into the pit. We'll stay on board with Johnny, who's hunting down Andy. Andy really in the headlights of Disco now. Disco struggling because he's still on the wet tyres. His pit crew have screwed him over again. Disco's still trying to find a way around him though, so Andy looks like he's going to have to drive. Andy, of course, on the dry tyres, Disco on the wet. Andy's lost the back end again! He's lost the back again! Oh, Andy, we're just having reports from his mechanic. Andy is still on the wet tyre. Looks like Siner's into the pit and out of the pit. Quick pit stop by him, unless we missed something. Let's have a look what Nicky's up to. Nicky's coming out the pit now, onto the dry tyres. Where's Ubar? Ubar just about behind him at the minute. Johnny looks like he's so close to Disco. So at the minute, Effie leads the pack, but he's going around again. Right, so Scotty, still not pitted yet. Disco with Johnny in close proximity to him. I think Disco's going to have to come in again and put the tyres on. It's crazy how bad his mechanics have had it. The last two rounds, they did the exact same thing. They didn't put the tyres on for him again. Johnny with that great neon light at the front of that Bentley looks cool as anything. So Disco into the pit. We're going to keep on board with Disco to just see if his mechanics are actually going to put the tyres on for him. This is the second time that he's having to come into the pits tonight. Where's Andy? Coming through turn 11. He's going to have that position done. Disco is going to go down the order. The question is just how far. Leo now is behind Andy. Of course, oh, who's that? Andy side by side with Hugo. So yeah, Hugo comes out the way. Moderate. Marshall here at Rubbins Racing. Disco still in the pit. Nicky's round to Defino. Is yellow flag over the Rainy Curve and just about misses our race leader. That was so close. That was so close. Disco going again. Hopefully he's got the right tyres on this time. Nicky, will he take that position? No, Disco's going now. He's out the pit. So what's going on? Let's have a look at Leo and Andy's spun again, I think. So Leo through into P4. Leo second in the standings at the minute. Looks like Defino's very close to BST. BST into the pit. So Zina into the pit. Defino through. Defino in a top 10 position. Disco, after his second pit stop of the night, is currently P6. We'll go on board with him. Oh, and on top of the insult to injury, Disco now with a drive-through. His night is going from bad to worse. This guy has got all the tools in his arsenal to win races here at the Rubbins Racing League, and his mechanics, time after time, have let him down. Now, Scottish driver from Edinburgh, 10th in the championships, 2nd in the sprint race, and ran out of fuel in the feature, having a bit of a mare in this one. Trackside now. Effie with a commanding 18-second gap over Scotty, but I think Effie still needs to pit. What's Steve up to? Looks like he's caught right up on Uber. Uber still in a good point scoring position, 8th at the minute, but Steve currently on a charge. Wow! Uber sideways in the wrong direction, coming into the corkscrew, managing to correct it again. Steve, very wise head on his shoulder there, just backs off, lets it play out in front of him. So fantastic driving by both these boys through the rainy curve. Is that discoing again? It's discoing again. He's on the wet. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. His pit crew needs sacking. So Steve looks like he's on the outside and he's lost it into the wall. Him and Dubar making mistakes through turn 11. That's crazy, but going again in the right direction. What's Johnny up to? Go trackside. Johnny currently 6/10ths up on his lap delta. So he's putting in some real lap times now. He's back on the dry tyres. Fantastic sign. It looks like Zainer's come out the way of him, so it's good that Zainer's come out the way. And it looks like Definio in the background there is going to lose a few more positions. Definio really struggling. Hopefully he can keep it going in the right direction. We don't see a disconnect. Uber now P9. Definio usually at the sharp end of the grid. He's always the guy with that tail out on the Lamborghini Huracan. Of course, our Czech driver from Olomouc having a horrid time, but cannot afford really to disconnect from the race. He's currently third in the championships with Andy on 210 points. But at the minute, Andy in P5 and Definio P11. I can't wait to have the championship standings sorted out after this one. Lap 24 now. Uber hunting down Disco. Disco with his third pit stop of the night. Definitely sacking the pit crew once he gets back there. So we'll have a look what Leo's up to. Last time around, Leo over 1:27.4. Only guy faster on track there was Nicky in the Z4 over 1:27.3. Nothing between them. Leo coming up on Zainer, so Zainer will come out the way. He's been pretty good under blue flags. Looks like he's very sideways through there and lost the back end. We've got a yellow flag in turn 5. Leo though going in the right direction. It's good to see. Andy looks like he's just made his way around Hugo there, so good to see him coming around that section of track. Andy struggles all night with the puddles here. Currently 5/10ths down in his best, but still in a good point scoring position. And it looks like, here we have, it looks like Definio is either coming to the pit or he's disconnected. Hopefully he's coming to the pits, go score a couple of points, but it looks like Andy's going to catch back up on him. His disappointment in the sprint. Andy really needs to keep Scotty into the pit. Scotty into the pit. Where's Johnny? Just coming around turn 11 now, the last turn. Looks like still holding him. They're still holding him. Oh, Johnny gets it wrong. Is that going to help him? Nope. Johnny's going to have that position done. Scotty's still in the pit. Where is Leo? Leo just coming around turn 11 now, and Scotty's going again. This is going to be close. Look on the left-hand side. There is Scotty. Leo's definitely going to have the position done. And Leo last time around with a 1:25. What a lap time by him. Effie with a commanding 38-second lead, but hasn't pitted yet. Andy into the pit. He's going to put them dry tyres on, and it looks like Nick is going to inherit that place too. It looks like Andy may have had the wrong grid spot there. Not too sure. He's have to put it in reverse. Where's Disco? Disco's coming around the rainy curves now, so he could possibly have P6 here. Andy, with a chance to really pull up on Definio after his disconnect, is not making life easy for himself. I think he's going again. Not sure that was a tyre change though. Disco across the line. Yep, he's going to have him. So yeah, Andy still just coming across, and it looks like Zainer's into the pit as well. Where's Uber? Uber comes through. Uber's going to have Andy. Yep, Uber into P7. Who's that in the background? Steve. So Steve's on the outside. So Andy's going to drop again. It's going to be close. Big puddle on the outside of this one. We'll go trackside. Trackside with Steve. Looks like Steve's just about going to come through to give each other the room to race. That's good to see. Those boys out on track respecting one another. On board with Andy, who cuts back across. Nice line coming through turn 3 there into turn 4. These boys still side by side. Steve thinks better of it. We'll keep a close eye on that fight. But Leo now fighting with Johnny. Leo into P2. P2. Johnny and Leo fighting it out. And Effie all the while on lap 26, still needing to pit. Looks like Leo has just about got that position done. I said just about. Is fantastic braking into the Andretti hairpin there. Leo getting the job done. Can Johnny stick with him? This will be a fantastic result for Johnny, our British driver here from based in France. If he could hold on to P3, I believe it will be his first podium of the Rubens racing season. So he's on for a good one. Steve now really on the arse end of Andy. It's 488 versus 488 into the rainy curve. Does look like Steve's got a bit of pace in that 488, and Andy runs wide. Oh no, he's going to collect him. I got it on stream. Hugo, where is he? It's a bit too far away, so a bit of an unfortunate event then. It doesn't look like Andy's pit crew. Again, much like Disco, and with that said, he's in the pit, yeah, so he didn't get that tyre change when he needed it to. So, you know, having a hell of a time too, so. Disco trying to chase down, I think that's Effie in front of him. So Effie, I think, has lapped these guys. Effie on an absolute charge. Where is Leo here? Effie down for 8 tenths. So currently, last time around, the thing is, Leo, Effie has a 36 second gap, but Leo is closing on him at 4 or 5 seconds a lap. The last time around, he was a full 6 seconds quicker than Effie, so if Effie doesn't pit soon and put them tyres on, he's really, really going to have Leo all over the back of him. Johnny into the pit. Johnny looks like he's maybe swapping over, taking his mandatory pit stop. Andy's now out and going again, but Effie takes it. Effie and Disco very close on track. Disco needs to back off, let Effie through. Will Effie take his pit stop this time around? He doesn't. Disco back on the inside of him here, so these boys need to be careful not to slow one another up. Of course, you can lap yourself, that's not an issue or a problem, but they're making no contact with the leader at the minute. All the while, this may play in the hands of Leo, who's catching. Effie at 130 last time around, Leo at 124, and it looks like Andy is gonna. Looks like we're having reports from Andy's pit crew that he's got no control over the car at the minute. This guy's not putting the tyres on as requested, so Uber now looks like Steve's just about through on the outside. So yeah, a whole host of people. Where's Steve on track? Just about let Uber through. Steve really on the back end of him. Lap 28, we've got 3 laps to go. We're not too many laps in this one. Steve hunting down Uber. Uber, very experienced GT3 driver, knows where to place that car to make it extremely difficult for. Can we keep the voice chums down to a minimum? It's really hard to commentate while you're all talking. Great, Steve is on the back end of Uber, but Uber pulls out a bit of a gap from turn 5 up the rail straight into the corkscrew now. What is Effie up to? Effie on the back end of Johnny there. Looks like Johnny may be getting blue flagged. He has blue flagged, so he's going to have to let Effie through. Doesn't want 2 more of them blue flags. Looks like he gets a better drive out that corner though, and Steve all the while is still on the back end of him through the rainy curve. Definitely Uber with a lot better line through that time around. Last time around, Uber with a 135 and Steve with a 128, so definitely some discrepancies in lap time. And again, last time around, Leo 124, Effie a 130. So it looks like Leo's putting in some work now to make it close towards the end. Let's have a look on lap time again. So Leo 124 last time around. What does he do this time around? Again, a 124, well a 125 that was, still a 5 seconds quicker than our race leader. I think the pit lane here is around 18 to 23 seconds, so at the minute I think he could just about come out in front of Leo, but he's still going on track. Where is he? Coming out the rail straight into the corkscrew. Leo putting in the work. Scotty also 125.9, so a good lap time last time around by a Welshman from Swansea. Scotty with a great line through that car. Good line through there. What's Nicky up to? Just coming for the rail straight now. Back to Disco. Disco, of course, was made about 5 pit stops tonight. not the fastest one. It looks like Effie's into the pit. He is indeed. So, with a change of tyres, I'm not too sure how this one's going to work out. Effie, not into his pit stop yet. Leo just coming around the rainy curve, so let's go trackside. Of course, Effie's going to have to change his tyres. Looks like his pit crew are on that. Where's Leo? Coming through the rainy curve into turn 11. It looks like Effie's going again. Looks like a pretty slick stop from Effie there, but very, very wide. So, Leo just coming through turn 11 now. Effie leaves the pit lane now. So, Leo, where is he on track? Yeah, Effie just about managing to keep it going. If Effie had waited another lap or another lap or two, Leo, mind you, I'm saying this, Leo's definitely got it in him to do something about it, but Effie just about coming out the pit now. Look at that gap, dropped, lap 30, Leo can just about make out, yes he can, there's the Cadillac in front of him. Effie's worked so hard for this win tonight, and Leo has just been plugging away lap after lap after lap, so of course we're on lap 30 of lap 31. While we have the eyes and ears of YouTube watching, can I please get you involved in the Discord channel? Leave a like on the video, it really helps us promote it. Zyner into the pit again. Leo now within 1.5 seconds of Effie. Effie had a hell of a gap due to no pit stop. Scotty now 11 seconds behind here. Scotty last time around 1:24.7, which I believe was the quickest lap. Nope, Johnny, well, I just missed that one, but yeah, Johnny says a quicker lap, but Scotty at the minute, class of the field. Look at how much Leo's pulling on. We're going to go on board with him. Cockpit cam. This is going to be a hell of a last lap between Effie and Leo. And Effie with the colder tyres. He's got fresher tyres, but they're not up to temperature yet. And Leo is all over the arse end of him. The fight for first. 1/10 in it. This is a testament to Rubbins Racing. We're on the last lap of the race, and we have got 3/10 in it between our drivers. And it looks like Leo's going to slot it up. It's a straight drag between them. Not much Effie can do. Pulls back in the draft into the Andretti hairpin. Let's pray that they can both keep it stopped. Leo covers the inside. We'll go trackside. Is Effie going to try and bring it round the outside of him? He does, but Leo with a fantastic drive off there. Leo takes pole. Who is that though in front of him? Yeah, I think that's Zyner. I'm not too sure. I think it is, yeah. So Zyner with a little gap there, but needs to be careful with the leaders coming up. Doesn't want to affect the race results of this one. Effie now. Looks like Leo's pulled nearly a second on him, so Leo with the pace at the minute, really with the pace. It looks like if he can just hold on, he's going to have P1, and he's going to close up that point gap to Jasko VR, definitely. Just in the background there, you saw Steve, managing to get through the pack there. Good driving. Leo from really nowhere ran a perfect race, was plugging in the lap times. We're on the last lap of the race. This is the last time we're coming into the corkscrew tonight. Leo coming up on traffic. Zyner and Steve, please be aware we've got the race leaders coming through. Might not be an issue. It doesn't look like it's going to be, not close enough, but Leo with what looks to be into turn 11. We're not going to call it quite yet, but this looks like a fantastic, well-measured race from Leo from start to finish. He's done the lap times he's needed to do. Leo, our Brazilian driver, P1 in our feature. Well done, buddy. Effie takes home a very deserving podium. Led most of this race, and Scotty is going to carry on pulling off them race results. P3 for the man from Swansea. Nice work. Nicky, replacement driver for tonight, comes in. He's going to bring home P4, and he should be very, very proud of that result. Hell of a drive. Not easy to beat the likes of Disco. People like that. Definitely proving that the Welshman from Swansea loves the well position. Nicky across the line in a Z4. Well done, buddy. Disco is going to be disappointed with that P5, although it's not a bad place to stop. He's had to pit over 3 or 4 times. He's really going to have to get his pit stop sorted out for the next race, but brings it home. P5, still with a smile on his face. Not managing to run out of fuel. 22 litres. Great. Johnny now. P6. Well done, mate. Our British driver based in France brings it home. P6. Nice job, my friend. Where's Ubar, our Dutch driver from Dreef, is going to score good points again inside of a top 10 position. Unlucky last week in the feature. Go and watch the video. That time penalty just cropping him up in the end. Across the line. P7 for Ubar. Nice work, bud. Nice work. Where's Steve? This is his first time tonight in a GT3 car. Gets a little sideways through the rainy curves. He's going to bring it home in P8, and there's no shame in P8 with the level of quality of drivers we've got tonight. Steve, for the last time tonight, P8, the pro touring car driver. Nice outing, buddy. Great to have you involved in the league. Hugo, going a little slow. Yeah, well, we've got eyes and ears. Please come and visit the Discord channel. Links in the description. Give the video a like and subscribe. We've got league racing throughout of the week. Massive shout out to the staff team and drivers here. Huge shout out to Jasco for the new baby en route. Massive shout out to Hugo, the new marshal of the Rubbins Racing team. And from everybody here at Rubbins Racing, huge respect and shout out to every driver that came out tonight and made tonight special. Leo with an absolute masterclass, Effie with a well-deserved second, and Scotty rounding off his good results for the week, bringing it home, P3. From all of us here at Rubbins Racing, thank you for joining us on the YouTube channel. We'll catch you next time. Peace.